unless I take care of myself, I can't be a good business owner and a support system for my client. So anyway.
That's super smart. Which kind of ties into, do you want to do that one? Or I think those are both really good questions. Maybe we'll do that one because that's short and that will be longer.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. How long after you leave do people maintain your plan for them? I love this question. And I think just like a lot of these answers, it's across the board. But I have been in a few clients' homes recently, like repeat clients. There's one that I just went to do a touch-up, and my mind was blown. It looked so good. We just went in every space and kind of reset some things as their life has changed. They found out they were gluten-free, and so we were switching out some labels and containers, and it was like one of my proudest moments that through COVID, these systems have worked for the entire house. I know that's not always true, and that's why we love repeat clients. We're going to reset the space again, and sometimes people just need some help. But my hope is that because you're paying such a high price point, you're paying for a system. You're paying for function, like Sam was saying. You're not just paying for someone to clean up your mess.
Totally.
So I think most of the time when people are willing to invest that amount of money to do it right and to have someone really work with them to create something that will last, I think it does last in general.
Yeah. I would say most of my clients are able to keep it up. And honestly, the ones that aren't, like, I think it comes down to habits. And you do have to learn to not overbuy, and you do have to learn to buy for your space. And sometimes you have, I don't know about you, but I have to be very upfront with my clients. Like, this is not all going to fit.
I need to be better about that. Sometimes I just try and make it fit.
So, I don't know. My background's in psychology. Like, my degree is in psychology, and I was always going to be a therapist. So, part of me loves, like, I don't know, bringing in the therapy, but, like...
Which is a huge part of it. I mean, I think that really creating a space that you love, you have to learn how to let go of things.
There is a lot of letting go. So, I think... To be honest, a lot of people do maintain it, and the ones that don't probably have it doesn't always have to do with us. I'm not going to say it never has to do with us, because I'm sure my first clients, and I'm sorry if you're here, but I don't think those spaces are as good as the ones I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Like 3 years. I don't know. I've learned so much. So
right. And we're always learning and evolving.
Yeah.
And that's why we can come back and reset it again.
Yes. And that's why I like try and give repeat clients, you know, not even a deal. I'm not even going to say a deal, but like, you know, sometimes give them like different pricing or whatever, because they have invested so much into me that I want to give back to them. So I don't know.
Okay, love it. Okay, how did you start, and what makes you decide to start your business? So I've already heard Sam's story, and I love it. I'll share like a super condensed version of mine.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to do something. I taught group fitness for years and years. While my kids were young and growing up, but I knew that I didn't want that to be like my career once my kids were in school. And I started the name, my friends helped me come up with the name Reset Your Nest almost 3 years ago, but I just kind of sat on it. I didn't know if it was going to be design. I didn't know if it was going to be like a DIY account. I didn't have any clear objective. I was remodeling my house, so I thought, I'll just start this account. So I sat on it, didn't do anything with it. And then almost 1.5 years ago, through a series of events that made me feel like Heavenly Father, God was just pushing me off the cliff. I felt like he was like literally spoke to me and said like, you get to do this now. You don't get to wait. My little girl hasn't started first grade or even school yet, kindergarten yet. And so I wasn't really ready, but I felt like I had that push, and I was told that I needed to do it. And so interesting. Now we've been through COVID and so many things, and my business has grown crazy fast this year, more than I ever could have imagined. And I feel like sometimes we just have to leap and trust. And so it's been a great ride. And I am an organization business, not any of the other things, as much as I love those. So that's what Reset Your Nest became. So tell us your story, Sam.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like I already said, I was going to be a therapist. I was literally in graduate school. And my husband was in his last year of college. I got laid off from a job that didn't matter. It wasn't related to my career. And then I started applying for jobs, and no one wanted to hire me because everyone's like, wait, but you're in grad school and you want to do sales. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to be in grad school for 4 to 5 years. And so it was just this weird thing. And I'm like, I'm a hireable person. And some people told me to lie. And I'm like, no, this is part of my story. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. Both of my parents and grandparents were all entrepreneurs. So I think it's always been in my blood. And I was doing some nannying for this girl, and I had organized for her, and she goes, I think you should be an organizer. And I was like, you're right. And I went home and started an Instagram account and a website and posted on Facebook, I'm starting an organizing business. And haven't looked back since. I don't know, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, it very quickly turned into design, because I think the two are very connected. I mean, like Jen said too, it's just about your home. And I think that is a personal thing and does tie back to psychology. And then when my husband graduated, he's always been handy. He was helping me as a handyman. I was like, I think you should get your general contractor's license. He grew up in construction, and we should do this. And here we are. I mean, it's been a whirlwind, but we're doing it. We're both doing it.
Very, very cool. You're doing it. Okay. Should we talk about that one? Because that's what this question is.
Small space organizing? Yeah. I'll talk about that first, because I live in a sugar house bungalow where there's no storage. So what I always tell people is it's okay to use furniture as an organizational tool. So I have a bookshelf that I bought from West Elm. That's my pantry. And it's in our dining room. And I have it all organized. I have the cute baskets. But sometimes you have to think outside the box. And I think sometimes people are like, but it's a bookshelf from West Elm and it's going to be your pantry. But it makes our home feel like it has storage and there's a place for everything. Because I'll tell you what, it doesn't all fit in my kitchen. So sometimes you do need something extra, but it can be something that looks good. That's my advice.
I love that. So great. So great. As far as small space organizing, I can't bring up, I wanted to read the exact question. Yeah. I see a lot of big spaces that you organize. What about small spaces and small pantries? So, I love that Sam has really great advice for it. And I've organized a lot of small spaces, but in general, the clients who hire us typically, not all the time, but have bigger spaces. So I feel bad that that's what we're typically showing on Instagram are pictures of these giant pantries. But like Sam, I totally feel like it can be done. Yeah. Whether you're thinking outside the box or just following the same guidelines that we follow in a massive pantry. The only difference really is that you have to really zone in on the essentials, on things you're using every day, and then anything that's in excess or surplus, hopefully finding a different home for it. And so whatever's in your prime real estate, you just keep those essentials there, which,
Totally. And I will say I do have a couple of things downstairs, not a big food storage, but a little bit, and then some serverware. I cook a lot. I like to cook, so we have our big roasting pan. I don't know, just bigger stuff that doesn't need to be in my kitchen, but it is organized and it's only in one place. It's not all over my house, but it's not always, I get it. When you don't have a big pantry, it's not going to be exactly how you want it. but that also doesn't mean that you have to wait.
Yeah.
Like, you can organize the space you have, and it will make it better. And then over time, you know, like, adjust it as you need it. Like, that's okay too. I have to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. Should we do
someone had
one?
someone had a question.
I got questions about that too.
Okay. You go first.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you have good I'll answer this question. Someone just asked how I grew my business so quickly. There's a lot that's gone into it, and more than I ever realized would go into it. And I have tried everything from story shares to giveaways to getting on Thumbtack,
going live,
to like reading books on SEO, which I still don't understand anything. And I hired someone to like set that up. 9 months after I started my website, I still didn't even know what SEO was. So there are so many things. Yeah, Sam's laughing because.
No. I agree. You fake it till you make it.
Yeah. But I do think if you're getting started, one of the things, and it's funny because I have felt this hasn't helped me as much recently, but I'm so grateful for some of the influencers who reached out to me, and I reached out to a few too. The very first one was Julie Boyer. She was so sweet. She's a high school friend, and I think I had like 200 followers, maybe like 180.
Oh my gosh.
This is like a year ago. And she let me come and organize her laundry room, and she shared the project that I did. And it was just the nicest gesture, and really that's not just Instagram growing, but it's also word of mouth, because it was coming from a place of trust, and that led to another one. And I feel like I know I've grown a lot this last year, and my business has grown through other ways, but as far as my Instagram following growing, that's what's really helped me. I think that's what gave me a boost initially with some of those.
Yeah, definitely same for me too, but you do hit plateaus. Like, I'll say that working with influencers worked with me to a certain point, and I feel like, you know, I've gotten to the point where they have to have a pretty high, like, follower count for it to, like, affect me, which, so it's definitely a way to do things, but it's not the only way to do things. Like, Jed and I are a little bit different in the fact that she's from Utah. She's also a mom. But I mean, you have like a community here, so I'm sure that has helped as well. Would you say? No?
It's helped me find organizers, like people who want to work with me.
Totally.
I feel like word of mouth. I do feel like starting my business, except for my mom and the few friends of my mom's who have hired me, I do feel like I was kind of starting from scratch. Because we moved here from Colorado like 2 years before.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know that part.
But I'm originally from Utah.
But I was going to say is that I've actually paid for ads, which I feel like people always are like, I haven't paid for any ads. And I'm like, but doing free work for it's
the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Instagram ads.
But targeted ads are really great and have helped me grow my business. Some of my biggest clients came from targeted ads
on Instagram or through like Google.
I think both.
Okay.
I think also like doing it in like the Facebook app, not just boosting. Do we need to discuss this?
We do. I'm learning. I'm learning for you. We're learning together. I need to hear all the things.
There's different ways, but anyway, paid ads and like really honing in on what someone wants to see, because that's basically what I was going to get back to, is having shareable content. So
that's really good.
Part of the reason we have grown is organizing school. It's shareable content. People are saving our content to come back to later, whether they're going to do it themselves or
and it's educational.
And so we are lucky in that regard. But there are also organizers who don't necessarily like grow as quickly. And I think it comes down to like your photos, how good your photos are. I edit my photos. Some people think you shouldn't edit your photos.
I edit my photos.
We edit our photos. We're photo editors.
I once had a friend ask me, if I like changed out the light bulbs in all my organizing projects because it looked so bright. The after pictures look so bright. But
no, we edit our photos, but it makes it more shareable, more savable, and